gentlemen, welcome to Evo India. This is your news of the week, and this week we again start with a motorcycle. Yes, the festive season is around the corner, and all the motorcycle manufacturers are gearing up to a big festive season. TVS has launched the Apache RTR 310. This is a completely new design, unlike what BMW did with the RR 310 for their fared version of their motorcycle. Prices start at 2.43 lakh and go up to 2.63 lakh. You get three different options to choose for in the RTR 310. A dynamic kit for 18,000, a dynamic pro kit for 22,000, and the Sepang blue color costs you rupees 10,000. It's based on the underpinnings of the Apache RR 310, of course. You get the 312cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine, 35 bhp of power and 28 Newton meters of torque. 150 kmph is the claimed top speed, but we do know with the 24-hour endurance run that this engine is capable of taking the bike much faster. 0 to 60 comes in 2.81 seconds, 0 to 100 kmph in 7.19 seconds. You get a 6-speed gearbox with bidirectional quick shifter and a slipper clutch. Ride-by-wire is standard on the RTR 310. You get an aluminium subframe. Now, in terms of braking, you get a 300mm front disc and a 240mm rear disc. Of course, the suspension is preload and rebound adjustable with a KYB 41mm USD fork up front and a preload adjustable rear KYB monoshock suspension. The saddle height is set at 800mm. The bike weighs 169 kilos. You get a 5-inch TFT display with 5 themes, a DRL, headlight controls and GoPro controls. You also get cruise control in the RTR 310. You get 5 riding modes and you get climate controlled seats. That means you can cool or heat them, which is going to be excellent for touring. And then you get race tuned dynamic stability control. You get TPMS also, cornering ABS, cornering cruise control, cornering traction control. A lot of features on the RTR 310. Now moving to our second motorcycle, another big one from Royal Enfield, the 2023 Royal Enfield Bullet 350. This is a proper icon and Royal Enfield is not making any mistakes with the 350. You get the same 349cc air-cooled single-cylinder J-series engine that produces 20.2 bhp and 27 Nm of torque. And this engine is not a new one now. It's of course new in the 350, but we've seen it in the Meteor, the Hunter, the Classic. So with the 350, you know what you're getting. The 350 now comes in 3 editions: a Bullet Military Red and Military Black at 1.73 lakh, Standard Bullet at 1.97 lakhs, and a Bullet Black Gold that comes at 2.15 lakh. Of course, the 350 now comes with a 5-speed gearbox. You get a 13-liter fuel tank. It gets pinstriping, something Bullets have been famous for. And on braking duties is a 300mm disc up front and a 270mm disc or a drum brake as an option for the rear. You get an analog digital instrument cluster, same as the classic 350. You don't get a Kickstarter option and bookings have finally opened, so do go check the bike out. Jawa has launched the 42 Bobber Black Mirror Edition. It costs rupees 2.25 lakhs. It's liquid cooled 334cc single cylinder engine. You get 29.4 bhp, 32.7 Nm of torque. You get a 6-speed transmission. And this bike, it idles at 1350 RPM now from the earlier 1500 RPM. So you got your engine at a more relaxed idle RPM now. The 42 Bobber now gets a updated fuel map. It gets a chrome tank, redesigned gear and engine covers, and you also get tubeless tires with diamond cut alloy wheels. Now let's move back to cars. We drove the 2023 Tata Nexon just a couple of days ago and the review is on our YouTube channel. The Nexon gets a thorough update this time. It gets significant exterior changes, significant interior changes. It also gets a dual clutch gearbox now. Engines are the same, so you get the same 1.2 litre turbo petrol 3-cylinder engine. You get the same 1.5 litre turbo diesel engine. So you get 118 bhp and 170 Nm for the petrol, 113 bhp and 260 Nm for the diesel. And the gearboxes on offer, there are so many gearboxes on offer. You get the 5-speed manual in the petrol, you get the 6-speed manual, you get the AMT, you get the DCT, you get the 6-speed manual and the AMT in the diesel. Lots of gearboxes to choose from. You now get 6 airbags in the Nexon, plenty of, driving modes, lots of interior changes. You get a new 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster, and you get a new 10.25-inch digital center console. So a lot of screens now in the Nexon. The Nexon now gets a new 2-spoke steering wheel. That's the signature steering wheel that every new Tata car is going to get in the future. It was shown in the Curve concept last year. Nexon now gets it, and it looks very interesting. Gloss panel on the center. You may scratch it a bit, so you probably need a screen guard, but quite interesting. The interior feels a lot more upmarket than before. Besides this, what else do you get in the Nexon? You get wireless phone charging, you get cooled seats. The front seats, in fact, have been redesigned. They're more comfortable than before. You get height adjustable drivers and passenger seats. And of course, the Nexon, you can take it everywhere. We've taken it everywhere, all the way to Umlingra. It gets 208 of ground clearance, and it feels like a proper solid SUV. Now moving on to Honda. Honda has launched the Elevate. Introductory prices start at rupees 11 lakhs and go up to rupees 16 lakhs. You get the same 1.5 litre petrol naturally aspirated engine that you get from the city. 119 bhp, 145 Nm of torque. You get a 6-speed manual or a CVT gearbox. Now claimed fuel efficiency is 15.31 kmpl for the manual and 16.92 kmpl for the CVT. So much better than the manual. 7-inch instrument cluster standard. You get a 10.25-inch infotainment screen as well in the Honda Elevate. Now moving on to the luxury car space, Volvo has launched the C40 Recharge. Introductory prices start at rupees 61.25 lakh. That's marginally more than the XC40 Recharge, but considering the amount of range that you get in the C40 Recharge, about 112 kilometers more than the XC40 Recharge. So that's impressive range. You get better energy density in the batteries, and that's why the range has gone up. Yet the prices aren't significantly more than the XC40. The C40 is the first born electric vehicle in the portfolio for Volvo India. It gets a twin motor setup, 402 bhp, 660 Newton meters of torque. Again, this is same as the XC40, but the power bias is different. So you get more power for the rear axle, 40-60 split front to rear, and that's why the C40 is a lot more engaging to drive. You get 530 kilometers of WLTP range, 0 to 100 kmph in just 4.7 seconds. So it is the fastest Volvo you can buy. It gets a 5-star Euro NCAP rating. You get pixel LED headlamps with 84 pixels on each side. That's premium lighting in a car that costs just 61.25 lakhs. Because it's a Volvo, you get level 3 ADAS functions. You get 100% sustainable interiors. Another thing that Volvos are now popular for is the Google-powered 7-inch vertical infotainment system. You don't need to connect your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay to get Google Maps on your infotainment system. The music system is a 13-speaker Harman Kardon system. So the C40 packs a lot of kit and is a very interesting EV in this price range. Moving on to some international news, Audi has facelifted the Q8 and the SQ8. You get new matrix LED headlamps with light signatures. You get a revised front and rear design. The intakes are different. The exhaust tailpipe design is different. You get new exterior colors, new wheel designs with sizes ranging from 21 inch to 23 inches. So you can get big wheels on your Audi Q8. Mechanically, it remains unchanged. So you get the same 3 mild hybrid engine options for the Q8. We'll have to see which ones end up coming to India. The engines on offer are the 3-liter V6 petrol. It makes 335 bhp and 500 Newton meters of torque. You get a 3-liter V6 diesel that makes 228 bhp and 500 Nm of torque. You get the 3-liter V6 diesel that makes 282 bhp and 600 Nm of torque, so a lot more powerful than the low-powered V6. You also get the SQ8 that gets a 4-liter V8 producing 500 bhp and 770 Newton meters of torque. The Q8 will initially be launched in Europe, and of course it will make it to India in a few months from there. Toyota has unveiled the Century SUV. It takes on the likes of the Cullinan, but not really, because it's not going to match the levels of luxury that you get in a Rolls Royce. Nonetheless, the Century SUV does pack a punch. It is powered by a 3.5 litre V6 plug-in hybrid that makes 400 brake horsepower. It gets a CVT transmission. It gets four-wheel steering to navigate this massive SUV. You get a rear comfort mode that distributes the driving and braking force so that the rear passengers are in a very comfortable space. Of course, this is going to be chauffeur driven, and the rear passengers are the most important people in the car. And that's why the focus is on the rear seats. You get fully reclining rear seats, electrically deployable side steps, so you're entering the car with grace. And you get rear doors that open all the way to 75 degrees. And if you don't want that, you want a sliding door, you can opt for that too. So, looks like a very interesting SUV. Now back home, a few more updates to cars that have been around for a while. The MG Astor gets a Blackstorm edition powered by a 1.5 liter engine. It gets a manual or a CVT transmission. Prices start from 14.48 lakhs for the manual, and the CVT costs 15.77 lakhs. You get a black honeycomb grille, black alloy wheels, everything black. The black edition is something that is quite popular in India. Tata started it and it came on with many other manufacturers. Hyundai also has one, and now MG has its own version. You get a Blackstorm emblem on both the front fenders, black upholstery and red stitching, red themed AC vents, all black floor console, steering wheel and door trims all come with red stitching. So it is going to look sporty, a lot of black everywhere, a bit of red somewhere. The MG Astor Blackstorm edition. It does get level 2 ADAS functions, 2 airbags, all 4 disc brakes, and it gets 17-inch alloy wheels. Now Hyundai has reacted quickly to the launch of the Tata Nexon that comes up next week by giving the Venue and the Venue N-Line ADAS features. That's one feature that the Nexon doesn't have, and now you can have it in the Venue and the Venue N-Line. Hyundai has also added a new powertrain option that combines the 1 liter turbo petrol with a 6-speed manual transmission. Now coming back to the ADAS features, what all do you get in it? You get forward collision warning, forward collision avoidance assist, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, driver attention warning, and a lot more. Prices start from 10.33 lakh and go up to 13.34 lakh for the new powertrain option, which is the 1 liter engine with the 6-speed manual gearbox. And the Venue N-Line, the prices start from 12 lakhs and go up to 13.9 lakh. Skoda too is gearing up for the festive season and has launched new variants of the Slavia and the Kushaq. The Slavia comes with a new Ambition Plus variant and prices start from 12.49 lakhs. It gets chrome elements on the front grille, lower door panel and trunk. It is going to be powered by the 1 liter TSI. Customers can choose between a 6-speed manual or the automatic gearbox. Kushaq gets a Onyx Plus variant. It is priced at 11.59 lakhs. It gets 16-inch alloy wheels, chrome elements to the grille and trunk. Now moving on to some exciting cars from the Munich Motor Show. Suresh and Atish just came back from the Munich Motor Show and they found some really interesting cars at the show. Top of the list, a car that was not even present at the show but in Munich was the electric CLA Concept. To my eyes, the CLA Concept looks very cool, and in pictures it does look very cool, but then someone pointed out that the CLA Concept looks similar to Angry Birds, and now I can't get that thought out of my head. Nevertheless, do tell us what you think about the car in the comment section below. The CLA Concept is the first of 4 new cars based on an all-new electric MMA platform for Mercedes-Benz. The claimed range is going to be 750 kilometers, rapid charging of up to 400 kilometers in just 15 minutes. Energy consumption of 12 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. Now, according to Mercedes-Benz, you lose very little losses from the battery to the wheels, as 93% of the energy efficiency is what they claim for in the CLA Concept. It's good for long distance driving. It's also going to be good value for money because you get 750 kilometers of range on a car that sits at the base of the Mercedes-Benz portfolio. It also gets a MB.OS operating system which runs on AI and supercomputing to provide automated driving and other convenience features. Now moving to Mini, again, what were you expecting? Yes, electric cars. Mini also showcased a bunch of electric cars at the Munich Motor Show. You get the Mini Cooper E with 40.7 kilowatt hour battery, 181 bhp, 290 Newton meters of torque. You get 305 kilometers of WLTP range. So that's not that much, but it is a lot more than the electric Mini that we've driven recently in India. 0 to 100 comes in 7.3 seconds. The Mini Cooper SE gets a larger battery, 54.2 kilowatt hours. You get 215 brake horsepower, 330 Newton meters of torque, 402 kilometers of WLTP range. So yes, more energy density probably, or a larger battery. 0 to 100 kmph in just 6.7 seconds. Mini also unveiled the electric Countryman. Alongside the EV, you get a petrol and diesel powertrain option in the Mini Countryman. And the Countryman E, well, it gets 201 brake horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque, 462 kilometers of WLTP range. So there is a compromise on performance for more range in the Countryman electric. 0 to 100 kmph comes in 8.6 seconds. A 170 kmph top speed is what Mini claims for the Countryman E. The Countryman SE All 4 was also shown. It gets dual motors, all-wheel drive, 308 brake horsepower and 494 Newton meters of torque. You get 433 kilometers of WLTP range, so that's quite good in the All 4. You get 0 to 100 kmph in just 5.6 seconds, so it's the fastest of all the electrics that was showcased in Munich. You get a 180 kmph top speed in the All 4. That's it for news this week. Coming up next week is the Kawasaki ZX-4R. It gets a 399cc inline 4-cylinder engine. This is Kawasaki's second sub 500cc inline 4. You get 79 bhp, 39 Nm of torque. All about the ZX-4R in details in the news of the week coming up next week. You'll also get to know a lot more about the KTM 390 Duke next week. It gets a 399cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine, 43.6 bhp and 39 Nm of torque. Power is up by 0.8 bhp and torque by 2 Nm. It's a new frame, it gets lighter wheels, the curb weight is just 165 kg, so this is going to be a very interesting motorcycle. All details revealed next week. That's it for the news of the week. See you next week.